Today is the first year in 10 years that I am not in a brick and mortar school.
Yo, 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 what's up, good people? It's your girl, Mia. Jesus is showing out, so the doctor is in. Hello, 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 and welcome to Private Practice with your host, Dr. Mia. Let's get it.
Yo, what's up, good people? It's your girl, Mia. Jesus is showing out, so the doctor is in. Hello, hello, hello. Listen, today is the first year in 10 years that I am not in a brick and mortar school on the first day of school. Now, my first year in teaching, as a substitute, I started in December, right, of that year. And that was in 2015. Every year ever after that, I have never missed the first day of school. And it's hitting different today. It's hitting different because two songs came on before I started this podcast. Two songs came on. The first song was let me see if I can go back to it and see which one it was. Let's see. It was Still Miss You, right? Still Miss You. So let's address that. Do I miss public education? Not exactly. Do I miss who I was as a teacher? Absolutely. I miss who I was as a teacher. I miss who I was. When I first started teaching, I saw a lot of the reasons why we become who we become, basically. I saw a lot of situations and circumstances that I was going through. I saw the kids going through it, which helped me understand why God called me to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I then later, little did I know, later I would learn that I didn't choose education. I was called to it. Just like I was called out of it. So I guess this episode of Private Practice is going to be us walking through places we were called to. You know what I'm saying? And when you get called out of it, right? It's hard to let go because places that we go to, places that we frequent, places where we grow, right? They become a part of us. And we don't realize when we miss who we were and not the place itself. You know what I'm saying? When we're called away from it. Because me as an educator, baby, you couldn't tell me nothing. Okay. I was phenomenal. Very prideful at times. And that's actually when I first experienced pride in a way that you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing about me as a teacher. And to this day, my why has changed, but you still can't tell me nothing as a teacher. Not as a teacher. The only person that can tell me something as a teacher now is God. So that's where the humility comes in. He can tell me, he can correct me, you know, all the things. But he gave me that gift. And I think a lot of times we don't realize when we give power to other nouns over gifts that God gave us. And that's what it was turning into. Spiritually, as an educator and trying to be a follower of Christ in a system that is so far from him, it became difficult because I could not operate in my gift according to his will. And when I did, I got into a lot of trouble. Always in the principal's office. You know what I'm saying? Always in the principal, always in man's office, right? Always being called in for, you know, learning my students before I teach them. And again, they didn't know that's why they was calling me in there. They just knew that I wasn't doing what they told me to do. But again, I was doing as they said, not as they did. And that was the issue. And what's funny is even though I'm not in a brick and mortar today, a lesson was still given because I had a whole conversation with my son this morning. We was talking about so many things, like letting go of people. And he was like, Ma, you can't do that. I'm like, but I can though, because sometimes we plant people, places and things in the wrong space in our hearts. We plant them in the wrong place when we really should be putting them in a vase. You know what I'm saying? When you plant something in the ground, that means it's going to stay with you forever. But certain nouns need to go in a vase. And I learned that long ago. Did I apply it? No, but I learned it long ago. Some nouns need to be put in a vase and not the ground. The ground is your heart, you know what I'm saying? And we plant those things, right? And when they rip up from the root, it takes parts of us with it. You know what I'm saying? And we got to let go of those parts. You know what I'm saying? We got to let go of those parts. Because a lot of times, those parts that we need to let go of, they ain't good for us. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to share some words of encouragement for the teachers that are receiving their students today. Do not conform. Under no circumstances do you conform. Okay? Do not conform to this world. Don't conform. Transform. You know what I'm saying? We, as educators, did not get into education to conform. We got in to transform. All right? You may get in trouble. You may get pulled into the office. You may get talked to crazy. You may get looked at crazy. But here's the thing. When you decided to go to school, when you decided to become a leader of future leaders, you did not sign up to conform. You signed up to transform. You signed up to empower. You signed up to encourage. You signed up to be what they needed to see so that they can have an example of what success looks like. Success is not conforming. Success evolves. Success is very individually pathed, if that makes sense. Like everybody's success looks different. So our students, our children, our people, our staff, everybody around us needs to be able to see unique authenticity across the board. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to see a bunch of cookie cutter, they don't need to see that. They need to see that who they are is sufficient. You know what I'm saying? Again, bad behavior, I get it. And the narrative is problematic behavior is the issue in public education. As an educator since 2015, I can tell you that is not the main issue. It's not. It's the adults and kidults, as I like to call them, because adults is kids too at times. It's the adults and kidults that are in the system that's the problem. From the government to the district, all the way down to the janitorial staff. What I'm saying is hit or miss. It's a very easy industry to get into. But once you in it, it's a very easy one to get banned from, baby. Again, you get into these systems and you try to teach for real. You try to teach for real, baby, you're gonna become a martyr. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to leave education. I actually, when I stepped out of education, I stepped out to build a school. And what I didn't realize is I was just going into another system like the one I was walking away from to build a school. And if you really want to build a school for God, it got to be without walls. If you want to build a school for God's children, it has to be without walls. It has to be separated from the systems, set apart, sanctified. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down. And, that's not an easy concept to grasp with limited resources. So one of the number one reasons why I didn't open, because I could have opened it. I could have pushed the issue. But the number one reason why I didn't is because they wanted me to charge quite a bit of money. It was a money game for them. And I know probably in their heart, again, I know businesses run on money, so I get it. I'm not saying they bogus or foul or whatever, but the amount of money they were asking me to charge was not gonna gain me access to all. Because I kept saying, and I caught myself kept saying, which is kind of me trying to control the population, but that's the people I'm trying to serve can't afford to pay that kind of money to go to school. You know what I'm saying? They can't afford it. So But I would say, I want to change that answer and say the amount of money they were trying to tell me to charge for the school, everybody could not, it wasn't accessible to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So pray for me on that, y'all. I'm still waiting on the Lord to continue to evolve that plan and help me see it clearly so that, me and him can be in alignment, because that's still very much opening an institution of excellence, should I say. Which for him, he probably like, you already did it. You're already doing it. But he knows what my heart desires. And we got to get in alignment on that. So y'all pray that I see what he sees so I can get to where we want me to go. But I digress. The other thing is the second song, right, was Live a Little. And it starts with, I've been praying for a breakthrough. Now, my last couple of years in education, I kept praying for the Lord to get me up out of there, right? Because I felt my gift conforming. I wasn't conforming, but I felt my gift conforming. I started losing the ability to operate it in it safely. And it started to kill me, like mentally, emotionally, chest pains, you name it. Like, I was getting to the point where I no longer had a desire to teach. And that made me sad. And I'm like, Lord, you got to get me out of here because I'm losing my gift. And that's one thing that we all got to acknowledge. Because I know I talked about on the last episode of Private Practice. The reason you can't stay too long is because you will start losing the desire to execute your God-given gift. Let me say that again. Because you're going to be so tired of fighting conforming, right? Because you need to transform. Because you're going to be so tired of fighting and trying not to transform, trying not to conform, you will start to lose the desire to execute the gift that you love so much. And that's when it becomes problematic. But again, even that is orchestrated by God, because once you come out of it, you'll realize that you can do it anywhere. It's not isolated to this institution that you're in. That's the illusion. The illusion is that if I'm not here, I can't do. And that's not how God works. God puts a gift in you that applies to all of his children everywhere. So we throw that away, right? So did I truly miss the first day of school? I don't think so. I mean, I don't think I did. I think I'm still very much teaching today. Just in a school without walls, you know? So a couple of words of encouragement, some more words of encouragement, should I say, to educational professionals who are receiving their students today. Reach them before you teach them. All of them. That's for principals, district support people, teachers, in-class support, cafeteria people. Reach them before you teach them. Learn them before you hold them accountable for what you think they should know. Again, this is from the top down. Because another issue a lot of teachers complain about, including me, and again, I'm one of them teachers that, yes, I didn't require a lot of support, but I can identify when you are incapable of providing me with support. In order to lead by example, you got to understand what you're leading. Let me say it again. In order to lead by example, you have to understand what you're leading. So in order to lead a teacher, you have to understand what it means to be a teacher. You have to understand their teaching style. You have to understand the teacher that you're talking to. You have to know them. And I ain't saying that y'all got to be BFFs, but baby, y'all got to have some type of relationship, because you got to know who you leading. Because in order to support or defend, you must understand. Let me say it again. In order to support or defend, you must understand. Not just know, you must understand. See, me and my husband get into this argument all the time about the difference between knowing and understanding. Knowing something is No. Like if you tell me this is a brown butterfly, I know it's a brown butterfly, but do I understand what brown is? Well, let me use a better example. Oh, I was trying. Okay, is this purple? No, I'm trying to find something that I can use to elaborate. I don't have. That's crazy. My keyboard, y'all see, my keyboard is purple, right? Now, I know this is purple because somebody told me it was purple. However, understanding purple is knowing that it takes two colors to make it purple. There's several different shades of purple. There's lavender, there's lilac, there's violet, there's that. You get what I'm saying? Understanding and knowing is two totally different things. Now, you can know something, but you might not understand it. So I reiterate, just like teachers need to know and understand how their students learn, leaders need to know and understand how their teachers learn and teach so that they can better support. They also need to know and understand the positions that their teachers are in, okay? You can't be out here trying to support a special education teacher and you don't know nothing about it. How you going to support them? How you going to defend them if they're executing all of the requirements of a special education teacher? If you don't understand or know if you don't understand the requirements, you could know them, you could read it. Because like a long time, I thought preferential seating means where the teacher prefers. I didn't know it meant also where the student prefers. I didn't know that. So again, I didn't understand that. So again, I know what preferential seating means. Preferential means where the most preferred area. You know what I'm saying? Preferential means what the student or teacher prefers. But it also means what is the best place for the student to be placed so that they can receive instruction. Again, I didn't understand that until I got till I got more research and got into it. So I'm saying all that to say, let's start this school year different. Okay. Let's learn and reach, then teach. Learn and reach, then support. Learn and reach, then defend. Because a lot of teachers are out here quitting because they're not being supported properly and they're not being defended when they are executing their job with fidelity, but the leader above them doesn't understand what that fidelity looks like. And I'm not even going to step off into the parents. That's a whole nother podcast, okay? Because parents are excited about school back being in session, but when school is in session, baby, so are you. Because there's a lot of things going on in these schools, which is another reason why I left last year. Because I couldn't take another day of seeing what teachers do to students inside schools. I've seen teachers physically mishandle babies, nonverbal babies who can't go home and tell their mama, hey, this is happening to me. They can't go home and tell it, but they come to school every day and being mishandled by the adult that the student is in their care. So parents, if you truly love your kids, do your due diligence. If you gotta pop up, baby, pop up. Because they cannot, it's a public school. They cannot deny you access to your child. They cannot. Especially if your child got special needs. Do not, I repeat, do not trust these schools as much as you did last year, this year. Because just because they say it's not allowed, don't mean it ain't happening. Just like you tell a kid, no, stop, don't, and they do it anyway, adults do it too. We disobey God every day. So if you think somebody is telling you, no, that doesn't happen, I'm here to tell you, I'm a living witness. I'm a teacher. It happens. And I've reported it and nothing happened. So if you don't get active, they getting active. Whether you get active or not, these people are getting active with your kids. Because they be tired, they be frustrated, and they be taking that frustration out on your child. Again, This ain't for the rock'em sock'em robots who go to school and, you know what I'm saying, they just off the chain. These are for children who are mild mannered, maybe a little too much movement or something. Maybe they hyperactive, or maybe they, you know, they multi-sensory and they need to learn with movement. Every teacher can't handle every student. I hate to say it, I'm gonna keep it a band. Excuse me. Every teacher cannot handle every student. And if you know your student is special, I'm not even gonna say special needs. If you know your student is special, you need to be active in your child's journey, because they could be having trauma inflicted on them that you know nothing about. You could be seeing behaviors at home, not being aware that those behaviors are coming from the abuse that they are getting at the school, not just from the kids, but from their teachers. Just because it didn't make it to the news don't mean it didn't happen. Okay. So a lot of y'all thank God that I'm not in public education, because baby, I can give you this warning. I'm here to tell you, I've seen it. It was agreed that it was inappropriate and not right, yet nothing happened to the teacher that did it. Be active. Or pull them out and homeschool them. I provide homeschooling support. Again, this ain't no promotional, but again, the whole reason why I provide homeschooling support is because I've seen it. I've been in education for 10 years. I've seen it. And I'm not going to tell you to pull your kids out and not provide you with any help. My phone number, email, all that's on my website. Check me out. But if you want to keep them in there, you're going to have to be on your P's and Q's. In addition to that, get you an educational advocate. If you know you work a job and you can't go up to the school, baby, get you an educational advocate. I do that too. So if you're in the Houston area, hit your girl up. I don't charge a whole lot because baby, I'm with all the smoke. I do it for fun. You get what I'm saying? I do it for fun. The compensation is just a little salt-based sprinkle for me. And lastly, because I'm trying not to go over 30 minutes on my videos. Lastly, to these whack scammers that's post, because I'm still looking for a job, y'all. I'm still actively looking for employment until my business picks up a little bit more, because baby, I ain't gonna lie, teachers make a nice little piece of change. So me trying to build up my salary to meet that has been problematic. But I'm gonna get there. Where was I going with that? Where was I going? Oh yeah, these scammers that's out here posting these fake jobs, y'all childish. Okay? I said it on my TikTok page, but I need to say it so y'all can see this the long way. Because again, there's people who have left fields because I don't know what's going on in 2025. Everybody got an attitude, or I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Okay? Because it's crazy that I got 3 degrees and I can't get a job. But again, I feel like that's the Lord, to be honest. I feel like he like, this is the only way I can get you to do what I told you to do. So you can apply all day long. I'm not giving you nothing. I need you to do this here, this here. So, but for people who ain't, or maybe he calling you to do that too. Maybe he been telling you to build something for the longest, and that's why you can't find a job. Hint, hint. But that don't give you scammers an out. I don't know what y'all still in with a job application. I don't know what you getting from that. I don't know what you getting. I know some more job applications are starting to show up asking for social security numbers. So maybe that's what they trying to steal, your identity. But y'all foul. If you taking from a person that's unemployed, you are that. Lord forgive them for they know not what they do. That is beyond childish. Okay, that's just shame on you. Okay, shame on you. I'm not gonna go too deep off into it, but I definitely had to give y'all another broadcasted cyber slap. Find something else to do, because these people are out here. Hey, good morning, Jesse on the cover. How you doing, love? So to sum up today's episode, and this episode won't air till next Monday on YouTube. So if you're on TikTok, you got it today. Y'all always get the pre, because I love TikTok. Y'all know we've been rocking for a long time. All my other social media platforms, they fairly new, but me and TikTok, my TikTok family, I love y'all. We've been rocking for a minute. But so to sum it up, teachers, stay encouraged, do not conform. Leaders, please work on your relationship building skills and your research skills in reference to the staff that you have in your building so you can better support and defend them. Those who are unemployed and may be, and the Lord is potentially calling you to build, do it. Stop questioning it. Okay. Stop questioning it. Stop. Keep applying because he might be, again, he might be preparing a place for you. It just ain't ready yet. So keep applying, but don't stop building either. Because I'm doing both. I'm applying for jobs and I'm building. So wherever he's providing an increase, I'm seeking him. That's how you seek him. Don't tell him where to provide the increase. Provide him with multiple options, or put multiple seeds out there and see which ones he waters and provides the increase in. And lastly, scammers, find something else to do. Just find something else to do. Period. I love y'all. Let them provide the increase. Oh, so I may or may not have a live session of the Rain Room this Saturday. We gonna see. It was last minute, but I got a guest today that wants to broadcast live on Saturday. So we gonna see what's to it. I also have Jaleesa Buck. I got her. So she's a business consultant as well as a women empowerment community builder. Love her. She's going to be, and we're going to be talking about shifting or transitioning into confidence and confidence. So that's going to be on the Rain Room on August 23rd. So check that episode out. However, her and I are going live on TikTok tomorrow. So y'all get the preview. And then everybody else gets the published version way after y'all. So TikTok, I love you because I love y'all. It ain't that I don't love YouTube, Facebook, but me and TikTok go way back. My TikTok family, we go way back. So that I got Jaleesa Book, and I also have Vic Vega. And I don't know if y'all familiar, but me and Vic Vega, I was on his radio show last year around this time. So I definitely want to bring him on so we can talk, and we're gonna talk about betrayal, Judas, and getting wrapped up in Judas. In interactions with a Judas. We're gonna discuss that. And with so my firstborn, he wants to do an episode with me, so that's gonna be this Saturday, and we're talking about do as they say, not as they do, for they say and do not. So that's gonna be a dope episode too, baby, because my son don't hold no punches just because I'm his mama. Because I told him that stand on your truth. Even if you feel like I'm not gonna like it, I'm not too proud to check myself. If I was wrong, I was wrong. So that's gonna be a good episode too. So y'all definitely tap into the Rain Room. It's taken off in a way that I can't wait to watch the after, the replays. Okay, so yeah, the podcasts are definitely popping off. Private Practice. This episode of Private Practice won't be aired until Monday, this upcoming Monday. But there is an episode coming to YouTube tomorrow. I don't remember the name of it. Y'all don't judge me because I got a lot going on. I'm building a whole business by myself, okay? By myself. Me and Jesus, okay? So y'all check out. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the school year. Parents, check on your kids and follow up with them teachers and make sure they doing what they supposed to be doing and not what they not supposed to be doing. And the instructional leaders, go in them schools and make sure that your presence is felt. All right. I love y'all. Be great. Be you. And in everything you do, stay true to you. Peace. Let them provide the increase.
Grace and Peace Physicians. If you enjoyed the vibe, click subscribe. Peace.